Before I start, can I ask you a question? Did you ever drive a car with your eye closed? I had a similar experience when I was leading a team and we didn't know what's the cost per acquisition or what's the lifetime value of our customers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Oracle CX Marketing Series, the second episode. I'm Elrawi, Director Marketing Strategy for Oracle, joining you from my home office in London, and I will be your host today with a very exciting guest speaker from the sports industry, Motasem Bawab, the Head of Digital and Technology for FIVB, the International Federation of Volleyball. Today's topic is data strategy. Data strategy, as I mentioned, is marketing without data is like driving with your eye closed. Today, we will be talking about data strategy. In the next webinar, we will going to talk about content, how to deliver appropriate content that stands out in the moment that matters the most. It's about tone of voice and authenticity. Then AI and innovation to drive operational efficiency and improve customer experience. Then personalization, how customer experience personalization at scale drive bottom line results. The fifth webinar will be about MarTech stack of tomorrow that can save us today. And then we'll end up the series with people, marketing organization model in the new world. Each webinar will be 45 minutes, including Q's and A's with different experts from different industries. Don't forget to register to the webinar series through the link and the QR code that you can see on the screen. Firstly, I will share our approach on how could you develop your data strategy. Then we'll move to Mota, who will share with you how FIVB started the journey and their version of the future, how their vision in the future, and we'll then end the session with a Q&A. So make sure you submit your question throughout the session. Now, let's have a look at how we are helping other brands across different industries to develop and evolve their data strategy. I've never been excited about any of the previous companies that I worked for mission statement as I am with our mission statement today. Before joining Oracle, I spent 20 years as a marketing practitioner. This is for me the first time to be on the technology part or the client-facing side. I used to work for Tottenham Hotspur, Barclaycard, Vodafone, and Cisco. I've never used in my presentation before the mission statement. Our mission statement is to help people see data in new ways, discover insight, and unlock endless possibilities. We are a data company. Data in our DNA. We're not coming from the creative background or a CRM platform. We are a data company. Hence, we are working with all the brands to help them see and unlock different possibilities through data. But it's important to understand the current situation we are in today. Yes, we are having economical downturn. Every industry is being impacted. The key question, is your business ready to recover as soon as the recovery starts? Are you able to recover quicker and faster than your competitors? Or even to save your business? We believe if you are focused on the 6 marketing priorities that I will going to share with you in a minute, you will be able to recover faster and quicker. The 6 marketing priorities. The first one is data strategy, which is the focus of today's session. The priority number 2 is content, how to deliver appropriate content that stands out in the moment that matters. AI and innovation to drive cost efficiency and operational efficiency. Personalization, how could you deliver personalization at scale? Developing a customer-centric MarTech. Lower your total cost of ownership. Smart and agile organization, how to build a smart and agile organization and identify the right operating model for your organization. But let's dive deeper into the data strategy now. And to do so, let me share with you this short video.
I feel like I've given everything I can, but there's just no connection. We've lost that spark. And to be honest, I'm fed up. I've told you where I want to go, what I want to do, but it's like you're not even listening to me. I'm sick of waiting around while you try to figure out who I am and what I want. I'm Natalie. I'm 32 years old. I like going out, running, trying the latest tech. You should know this by now. I just want things to be easy, for you to get me. And sometimes I want you to make some suggestions, to do something that surprises me, that shows me you know me. I feel like you're not connecting the dots, like you're not seeing the link between all the different things that make me, me. I know it's not always easy to make the perfect connection, but if others can do it, why can't we? Now's the time for us to reconnect.
So, are we set up to capture Natalie's signals, surprise her from time to time? What customer feels when they are interacting with a brand is exactly as we have seen in the video with Natalie. 90% of the customers, they will know a brand that exists and maybe try it once. It's like meeting someone in a party. For 10%, they can build a relationship and develop a consumer deeper relationship and think about the brand in a certain way that attached to some meaning to them. And that's kind of become the business relationship start to develop. But for 1%, the customers might incorporate that brand as part of their life and they feel that it defines them. But for the world best, very few companies are able to take the relationship beyond the brand and the brand become indispensable and would be forgiven no matter what happened. For me, the best example of that is the people who are passionate about either the iPhone or Samsung. In the experience economies, brands are not anymore competing with other brands within the same categories, because at the end of the day, we are competing for a share of mind, heart, and wallet. How many customer signals are you able to capture? And are those customer signals that you are capturing is the right type of signals, and are you able to activate it? But connecting those signals, easier said than done. We know that today's marketing, sales, and service teams are probably a lot more efficient than ever, but they are often still operating independently at either the data, intelligence, or experience level. We know that many organizations have a challenge in terms of the customer-sided data, the inflexible process and workflows, the fragmented technology which is maybe created through legacy platforms, or the lack of resources and skills. Every business needs a data strategy, no matter what size or sector is your organization. Data can be your biggest organizational asset. If you want to deliver personalization and targeting, If you want your customer, if you know the customer, high value customer, the mid value customer, the low value customer, you will be able to target them. I remember when I was being targeted by an ad of a product that I already purchased last week. That's because of lack of data strategy. If you want to scale and innovate your product and solution, you need a data strategy. If you want to be able to deliver multi-channel and device orchestration, you need a data strategy. If you want to drive commercial value, drive cost efficiency, you need a data strategy. If you want to build a data-driven culture, you need a data strategy. At Oracle, we have developed a data maturity model, 4 stages. We believe every company will fall within those stages. And the question would be, how could we help, or how could you evolve from one stage to the other? Stage number 1, it's about siloed departmental. If you are able to communicate with customer through manual data usage, whether you got a customer list within a certain channel, but you're not able to connect the different channels together. Stage number 2, it's about cross-channel. If you are able to connect different channels, whether it's email, paid, organic together, and able to get some enrichment of the data to see what the customer doing in different channels, and have some sort of level of performance dashboard. Stage number 3, if you are able to have a data-driven, where you are able to automate some of the practices between a couple of departments, and you have advanced segmentation of your customers, and how you are able to deliver a trigger-based automated campaigns. But the ultimate goal is that we reach the intelligence-driven data maturity. When you are able to connect and being able to deliver the intelligence through the engagement that happened from your back office and front office, connecting the different technology that you have from marketing, sales, service, and commerce. When you have a dashboard that is in real time and able to identify the customer lifetime value and able to predict a churn, drive loyalty. So basically what we do is we identify, firstly, to help you develop your data strategy. What we try to do is we do that maturity assessment to identify where you are in each of those levels. But let me now ask you a quick question. We were going to launch a poll now to ask you, what is the level of data maturity within your organization? What do you think you are within those 4 levels? You should see a poll now appearing in your screen. So if you can take a moment to answer the poll. And we were going to share the answers of what the people see in terms of the where they are in terms of the maturity level shortly. So I can see a lot of people answering now, which is really good, very positive. I can see the answers coming through. We'll give it another 30 seconds. So after we identify where you are in that maturity level, what we do in order to help you develop the data strategy is we take a simple 4-stage process. And if we end the poll now, I think we got enough answers and we got most of the people answered the questions, which is great. Basically, we do the data maturity assessment in order to identify where you are in that maturity ladder. And through that maturity assessment, we are able to identify your business goal, define your data requirement in order to deliver your customer experience that is required. Then we start prioritizing and seeing the prioritization of what you need to do and start coming with some quick wins. Through the data maturity assessment, we test your data maturity through data collection and connection, your data management, your intelligence and decision making, your utilization and activation of data. And through that, we are able to establish and exchange value in order to find the data that you need in order to deliver a better customer experience and drive growth. And then in stage 3, we develop a roadmap: crawl, walk, and run, with some quick wins, long-term, short-term, and mid-term. And then at the end, we work with you on an implementation plan. I hope that makes sense to you at a high level, how we kind of helping organization to develop the data strategy. But before I end my kind of quick presentation on our approach, I would like to say that at Oracle, we have the full end-to-end solution to help customers and businesses listen to the customer signals, enrich it with other data sources, and activate it in real time, and add intelligence to inspire their customers and inspire Natalie and surprise her from time to time. Unity, our customer intelligence platform, which includes real-time data streaming and decisioning, the ad tech service that allow marketeers to leverage digital advertising use cases, is all at the core and built around our B2C and B2B orchestration tools, Responses and Eloqua, and site optimization maximizer, and our loyalty offering of CrowdTwist, and then the data management, the data asset management, the content and experience, all with advanced segmentation with CX audience, and enrich with Oracle Data Cloud Data Fox. We have a very robust and rich stack of products that all come together to provide one-stop shop for modern marketing to unify and centralize data, identify insights, and orchestrate and personalize a consistent experience across all customer touchpoints, all in a privacy-safe manner that is flexible and continues to meet ongoing regulation and policy changes. In summary, CX or digital transformation is a long-term play. Every business needs a data strategy to survive and be successful today. Your customer data is unique to your organization, so make sure you leverage it. Now, let's have a look and hear from our guest speaker, Mota from FIVB. But let me first mention this. Motasem was formerly a professional basketball player. He's the head of digital and technology at International Volleyball Federation. As the head of digital of International Volleyball Federation, his role is to lead the team developing digital and technology strategies for the federation. His main responsibility is to increase viewership of volleyball properties globally and to drive new revenue streams beyond TV. His other focus is to bring the best of volleyball to its fan, players, and organizations around the world through innovative digital solutions and engaging content. I'm sure you will enjoy the next 10 minutes. Please welcome Motasem and Bawab. Mota, over to you.
Thank you, Amer. That's quite the introduction, I must say. So hello everyone, lovely to be here, and honestly I'm quite honored to be part of this this discussion. As you can see as well from the different stages that Amer is discussing, we're actually in between the first and second stage, I must say. So, but we will go over it in a bit during our discussion. So I wanted to participate, but as a panelist, I couldn't participate in the poll. So The FIVB, we are the International Volleyball Federation, and we are the governing body of all forms of volleyball around the world. One of our main tasks beyond growing the sports is also organizing certain events. And some of our events involve the beach volleyball and volleyball, so indoor volleyball. So we're not just one discipline. We actually have to take care of the two disciplines. And before actually we even get started, I'll give you sort of a digital background of the FIVB. And one of the things that we have noticed in sports, and I'm pretty sure that Amr will say can confirm that, is that fans crave video. And I believe we will need to move on to the next slide. So what we've noticed, that most of our fans just want to watch highlights. They want to watch our sport, but compared to other sports, the volleyball is still not very well known as a property. Probably most of you here, the attendees, and see 114 attendees here, you've played at least once beach volleyball or volleyball, or with some friends, just you played that, but you never, a lot of you never sat down and watched a volleyball match. However, the part of you that are watching the matches, you crave more content and highlights that are interesting for you. And what's more interesting is that what we've noticed is that 92% of them are watching these daily videos on their mobile phone, and 80% of them actually watch this on their mobile phone. So we saw that there's a trend there that we needed to address from a content perspective. As the digital department, we not only deal with developing the digital strategy, but we also are in charge of creating the content strategy. We need to figure out a way to capture the fans, to cater to their needs, and figure out what do they want. But with that in mind, we've noticed that how can we get their attention, because we have an array of fans around there, and how can we get their attention? So in 2018, we realized that we needed to change. We were at a focal point where we understood that the way we were doing things needed to be updated. We needed to be more digital. We needed to be more data-driven, and we need to be content-driven. And this is where our digital transformation started, which was in 2018. And we know that it's not just a destination. We don't want to, there's no end to the digital transformation, even though my bosses will not agree with this statement, because it needs to be constantly an evolution, and it needs to be evolved. But we built our transformation around 6 pillars. The first one is mobile, where everything we do, even the internal tools that we're using, emails for people, accreditation systems for events, they need to be mobile first. In addition to that, everything that we do, any decision that we make, any content piece that goes out needs to be data driven and needs to be validated by the data. And then we also needed to make sure that our content is more engaging, and mostly focused on videos. But as a governing body, our 5th pillar is that we need to take care of all our member federations. And that means that 222 member federations, in addition to sponsors and partners, we needed to figure out a way to create this servicing hub for all these stakeholders. And that's why one of our pillars is a stakeholder assist, which I will go through in a bit. And then the last one is in-house knowledge, which is, we needed to make sure that everyone in the house is at least knowledgeable about the digital principles. So we actually run certain workshops for our national federations, but also for our employees, for them to learn about data, learn about what's happening, what's new in the industry when it comes to digital, whether it's on Facebook or on Oracle. Our vision as a department, so based on these pillars, we created the vision, which is we have a commitment as a department to bring the best of volleyball to its fans, players, and organization around the world through innovative digital solution and engaging content. Now here, we touch upon multiple types of users, multiple target audiences, and we're not talking just about content, but also about experiences and digital solutions. And this can only be possible if it's data driven, because you're able to segment that. Now, once we defined our vision, we decided to, okay, what are the 5 different pillars that we wanted to focus on as a department as well. And the first pillar is that, like I mentioned, engaging content, but this engaging content needs to be adapted to the fans' needs and behavior. Now, in sports, the content strategies between January and March are completely different to the ones that we have now because of COVID-19. A lot of things have changed, and we needed to be more event agnostic, which is the second pillar that we have, which is basically we needed to move from being event driven. If in any federation or any club or any league, you would see that all the plans are towards to delivering the events. And here, what we're realizing and why we needed to change because of COVID is we needed to become more of a media entity that creates content all around, because we needed to capture the fans all around the year. Well, obviously, our third pillar is, which is something that Amr touched upon, which is building an agile organization. So the FIVB, we're just 70 people in-house. We work a lot with externals, but we needed to figure out a way to be more agile to any product that we put out there. Any piece of content that we put out there is quick and fast to be delivered, and to be agile, to be adapted. Then the fourth pillar is to bridging the gap with stakeholders. Here, like I mentioned, we need to work with our sponsors, work with our national federations and players even, to see what do they need and cater to them as well. And here, as you can see, our strategy is not only B2C, which is B2 fan, but it's also B2B, which is from organization to an organization. And then last but not least, a lot of organizations now, especially in sports, are trying to figure out how to monetize properly digital. And this is one of the key aspects for us. We know that we have a long road ahead to make digital move from being a cost center to a revenue generator. So that's one of our pillars, is that anything that we build is towards making it a sustainable business in the future. Now, to give you sort of an idea and a summary of what our current challenges are and what we're going to tackle ahead for the next 5 years, as I mentioned, digital is a cost center, and our objective for the next 5 years is to become self-sustainable. It's a big challenge that we have. It's an ambitious challenge that we have, but we would like to tackle it. Data is still not truly leveraged in our fan journey. So first of all, we need to increase the number of digital products and assets as a solution to that. Digital platforms are not customized and localized. Now, Amr mentioned this in his presentation. As one of the things that the fans want is they want the content that is specific to them. I always use as an example Netflix. Everyone comes back to Netflix because they have this recommended to you section, which is basically lets you discover new content, but that is similar to the previous content that you have, but it's adapted to your needs. And this is only can be possible if it's powered by data. And one of the things that we are now noticing is that, and even because of COVID-19, is that I think our fans will have certain expectations when they come back to the events. If we come back to a normal way of doing events where people will attend the venue, is that they would expect certain things to be fully digital, fully touchless, contactless. So this is something that is one of our pillars, is to connect the offline and the online journeys of our fans. And then last but not least is we need to accelerate our speed to market when it comes to any digital product that we develop, whether it's a CRM or a website or even a landing page. So this starts with improving the architecture and our processes of technology. So this gives you sort of a general summary of what we do and what we're trying to do. The FIVB has embarked on this journey for the past few years. We're still have a lot of work to do, but it's an exciting way, and I hope as well that I enticed you to log in on our OTT channel, which is Volleyball TV. It's currently for free, so if you would like to check out what we do as well, feel free to join. Thank you.
Right, so thank you very much, Mota. I told you this will be very inspiring. I really like the vision. And what's really interesting, Mota, which was not by design, is what you have seen in the 5 pillars that Mota presented is very much in line with the 6 P's that I mentioned for any organization. Mota talked about the content. He talked about the data that is really important. He mentioned about the people. Talked as well about the innovation of how could it create new revenue stream using data and technology. Talked about the personalization. So as you can see practically as well, how FIVB are implementing or kind of using those pillars or kind of the 6 P's in order to become successful. The other thing that I would like to say, if you're not already following FIVB on Facebook or Instagram, I encourage you to follow them. The posts are really engaging. I really like it. And again, we have seen from the recent report that out of the International Federation, FIVB are kind of moving really, really fast and kind of achieving amazing results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Now we shifted our strategy starting last year to be more focusing on content, especially when it comes to social, and even started using different methodologies for acquisition as well to acquire fans to our properties, and it has been fruitful. Now, one of the things that as well is great is that it has never been done before on a volleyball level. So it's still even a novelty to certain fans. So whenever they see new content coming out from a volleyball property, they're always very, very accepting. But in certain ways, this shift in the mindset to, okay, let's deliver what the fans want, where they want, and where they are, is quite made this shift in bringing more fans to our properties and growing exponentially. Actually, we grew our audiences 3 times by 3 times in the past year only, thanks to the events, but also thanks to this change in mentality in our content production.